Good evening, everyone. مساء الخير جميعا. This is Samar Abd El Fattah, founder and CEO DM Tech. النهاردة we have a very light talk to have a deeper dive in different technology trends have been affecting the real estate market. هنحاول على قد ما نقدر نكفر في this talk the technology trends, بس mainly our objective is إن احنا نركز على ال AI as a technology بدأت transform the real estate market for some time now. خليني سريعا introduce to you our company. DM Tech is a smart mobility service company and smart city service company. احنا we're focusing على different solutions that can fill in the gap in the market when it comes to smarter infrastructure, especially in the mobility or in on a city domain level يعني. Okay, let's see what we can do النهاردة to get more insights. أنا حاولت أركز على ال technology trends that are currently and for some time دلوقتي they're leaving very heavy impact على real estate market. التكنولوجيز اللي هنتكلم عنها النهارده هيكون منها ال VR والvirtual reality والاugmented reality and mixed reality, blockchain technology, Internet of Things and artificial intelligence. Let's start by experience design, which is أول يعتبر في real estate أول interaction with the customer, with the property, with the building. So it's familiar in this market, and experience design is one of the essential elements to enhance the market. Recently, أكيد معظمنا سمع عن ال use of virtual reality to get virtual tours or experiences into different properties. وده كان ال main advantage أو ال main use of such a technology in this market. طبعا with everything happening دلوقتي في العالم and with incidents like Corona, for example, the traditional sales approach may actually it will and it is suffering a lot of challenges. فهنا محتاجين نقف ونفكر امتى هنبدأ نadopt heavily similar technologies زي ال virtual realities أو augmented realities to enhance the sales أو operations of real estate property sales. طبعا when it comes to having a virtual or immersive experience, it has a lot of benefits. أولها إن طبعا access to remote tours of your property, of course increasing the efficiency بتاعت property marketing من ناحية you can add more elements, you have full control over the experience اللي انت عايز, your expected customer to visualize, increasing satisfaction of your customer by ان انت بتسمح له unlimited time to get into the property whenever they want to have an overview, whenever they need to go around, محتاجين explore ال property أكتر, invest أو we spend more time in it. وطبعا ال flexibility of adding interior elements, even getting the customer to experience advanced processes من ناحية ال property preparations. There have been, alhamdulillah, recently in the Egyptian market a lot of work when it comes to the use of such a technology. However, I believe in there could be better work to be done, inshallah, in the future. تاني technology هي blockchain, and عند blockchain هنقف وقفة شوية. Usually blockchain is commonly known and used for the cryptocurrencies, whether you trade with it or you just mine it. However, when it comes to real estate, حصل some incidents that affected the real estate market أو بدأت تعمل penetration للتكنولوجي دي جوه real estate market. One of those incidents كانت إنه في late 2017 there were the first purchase of a home using Bitcoin. وده حصل في أوكرانيا where someone purchased a property using his bitcoins. وده عمل شيفت كبير في الماركت. فبدأ مع الانسيدنت دي يظهر ستارت ابس وكمبانيز كتير بدأت تستخدم الكريبتو كارنسي والبلوك تشين in real estate trade. However, there are still some challenges, especially when it comes to blockchain, زي احتمالية إن يحصل fraud بسهولة جدا بسبب massive number of users. There are still some missing regulations when it comes to using cryptocurrencies in real estate. However, لازم نقول إن أول شخص هيقرر إن هو adopt this technology ويبدأ يحط ليها common regulations اللي كان fit مع market needs. Definitely هيعمل big shift in the market, and he will lead a massive market opportunity. That's basically when it comes to blockchain. And there is more to do with, يعني, when it comes to blockchain. However, it's a separate discussion. يعني. The third technology هي ال Internet of Things, IoT. Commonly known, هنتكلم شوية عن ال IoT لأنه commonly known in the real estate market, the use of IoT for smart homes. And basically, ال IoT هو عبارة عن a set of connected sensors, and these sensors transmit and receive data through a cloud for different applications. ده يعني بمنتهى البساطة. For smart homes, the use of this technology can, for the sake of having like an assistant in the home, being able to control the lights, the gates, security of your house. These type of features اللي بدأت recently penetrate the local market عندنا. However, they have been in the global market for a very long time دلوقتي. ولكن مع ذلك يعني ال use of IoT when it comes to real estate هي أكتر من كده بكتير. The common use of IoT is having connected buildings. For example, دلوقتي if your property is a set of buildings for different purposes or applications, having a common a single platform that can help you and to monitor and control all these buildings at the same time is one of the strongest features when it comes to use of IoT. برضو من ال very important goals حاليا لل future of property أو ال future of buildings is ال environmental management, since in the power consumption or energy consumption and the footprint of buildings is massive on the environment. بدأت شركات كتير تتجه إن هي use connected sensors to monitor different emissions from different sections or systems in the building, to monitor and reduce the emission rate and the carbon footprint, for example, of buildings. ولو ديت حاليا is a luxury feature, soon it will be an obligation once the regulations are there. So it's better to be ready and help enhance the environmental impact of buildings on cities. طبعا أحد الفيتشرز في ال IoT waste management, and this is a very growing market and industry when it comes to waste management. Having connected waste resources. Actually, we have done some work when it comes to waste management with one of our partners, and it's basically about filtering and monitoring the different waste, and then helping in to use these waste for better applications by using this monitoring advantage. Once you can monitor the waste, you can access resources required and communicate directly. مثلا, for example, let's say إن أنا المبنى بتاعي has a set of يعني has a waste management solution. فبيبدأ يحصل monitoring على الwaste rate and quantity and type and categories على حسب طبعا requirements, ويبدأ يحصل direct communication مع الانتيتي المسؤولة عن ان هي مثلا تريسايكل certain category of waste, او ان هي collect a certain category of waste. all of this is now automated using IoT. طبعا أهم السترونج فيتشرز زي الكونكتد جريد. احنا برضو بدأنا في اللوكال ماركت recently يحصل some adoption للrenewable energy as an essential resource للenergy in buildings. However, having a connected grid that can supply power and help in the distribution and the monitoring of this energy is provided by IoT. وده محتاج شغل أكتر في local market عندنا. طبعا commonly operation control زي ما قلنا having a connected building platform would require operation management and operation control using IoT. وكذلك conditional monitoring والconditional monitoring is operating في different industries زي الautomotive industry for example ان انت او في manufacturing facilities انه you monitor الماشينز امتى expected to happen a failure لو في errors لو في malfunctions لو في delays. كذلك is applied when it comes to properties in real estate. Having a conditional monitoring system وين تعرف امتى يحصل certain access of use or penetration or emissions or security. So امتى يحصل expected to happen a failure in one of your systems or supplies in the building. كل ده بيحصل عن طريق ال IoT. رابعاً ال Artificial Intelligence. وهنا ده كان المين objective من التوك إن احنا highlight how massive the AI is affecting the real estate market. وطبعاً ال AI is يعني one of the technologies that have been affecting different industries. عملت massive shift. دلوقتي احنا بنتكلم industry 4.0 freely because of AI and IoT and other technologies. However, ال AI ما وقفش when it comes to real estate. يعني again mentioning حاجة زي smart homes for example, it cannot happen without AI. Having the virtual assistants, maybe some of you have their own virtual assistant at home. This wouldn't have been happening without AI. And it's growing. طبعا with the use of the integration between these different technologies can help in access to the virtual assistants or the ability of the virtual assistants is growing. However, the real estate market in Egypt really needs to focus على ال AI أكتر الفترة الجاية, especially when it comes to applications زي property management. من أول data collection للanalytics of these data, analyzing the data and getting conclusions about requirements من ناحية different elements, من ناحية building requirements, من ناحية design requirements, من ناحية economic requirements, location requirements, distribution requirements. All of this now can be automated using AI. And what's more important as well is from the customer perspective, the use of AI to provide the maximum and the optimum customer satisfaction is now a must. Commonly now is a property recommendation using AI. وده is linked by the second point, which is the data analytics. طيب نقصد إيه ب property recommendation يعني إيه وهنعمل إيه من data analysis. Let's say إنه you have a big project. Our decision is a location of this project. And based on location of this project, and of course the project design and the project elements, the project budget, what is the expected customer of this project. وباي default هيطلع some decisions من such a process, منها pricing, whether البرايسنج ده عبارة عن اليونت برايسنج أو البروبرتي برايسنج أو من ناحية البروجكت budgeting even. And then will come the location property trade-off. مين would be interested in يسكن فين. ده سؤال can change massively the whole sales process when it comes to real estate market. And then the infrastructural decision, which is the investment analysis, when to invest in where. There are more questions to add when it comes للدata analysis role. بس خلينا ناخد السايكل من الانفراستراكشر. Making investment decision is bounded by expected behavior for this location or this zone when it comes, and this expected behavior you want to predict in the future cannot happen without having a data record that can help you analysis and expect. فده to summarize is how AI works, and to collect data from the market and analyze these data and draw behavior patterns, and then from these behavior patterns you can predict what is expected to happen in the future. وده economically can يعني مش عايزة أقول يعني massively affect the real estate market. Having the mentality of adopting these scenarios of collecting data about properties and getting the customer involved in the data collection and the data analysis as well, by making their surveys, getting customer expectations. هو ده اللي هيرسم ال future of sales. طبعا with a complete cycle of displaying data, getting feedback, experiencing the sales عن طريق حاجة زي ال visualization for example زي ما قلنا في ال VR وال AR, and closing the deal is a must if all these elements are there. ليه أنا بتكلم من sales perspective شوية؟ لأنه ال efficiency of sales usually known by إنك تحقق الديل. However, efficiency in reality is affected by a time consumption, والeffort, والfinancial consumptions. sooner or later will be كمان by environmental effect, with sustainability of these buildings or these properties. To have كل variables دي collected in one place, analyzed, and help you in the decision making. This cannot happen without adopting AI. There are plenty of solutions. DM Tech worked on some of these solutions using, for example, geospatial data to analyze the location pricing trade-off, for example. So how to help the customer decide the location pricing balance based on their interest, and save your time as a property provider or a real estate person. And having access to data will help facilitate the decision making. So if you can provide the customer with the pricing distribution, for example, based on locations, خلاص the customer property fit happens automatically. And also, for example, expected growth of different location, and this can help in the pricing model. For example, the pricing model of units is affected, of course, by a lot of things, أهمهم البudget, and the cost and the expenses and the operation and after sales services and so on, the features, the security, but this also is directly affected by the expected performance of this location in the future. So this location is expected to grow 3 times, 10 times within 2, 3, 5, 10 years time frame. This has to be part of the pricing model. How can we get these productions and have it as an element, أو إن إحنا هي تكون جزء من الblocks اللي بتساعد building blocks of having a pricing model for different properties or different units. This is also supported by AI. there is a lot of companies around the globe دلوقتي they depend on the AI في كل الاوبريشن من اول investment decisions لل property management whether it's في ال construction phases أو preparation phases أو في sales phases to even the property management later on and creating all these integrations per project for instance of time محتاج heavy adoption لل AI technologies. طيب أنا هستفيد إيه؟ يعني أنا دلوقتي هستفيد إيه؟ ما أنا شغال my sales are doing great. Yes, but your operation can always be optimized. And being vulnerable to any kind of impacts ممكن تأثر العالم زي ال COVID-19 for example can make your operation very fragile. عشان كده adopting such technology is a must now. وطبعا having a smart operation and smart decision making tool give you the highest competitiveness in the market. We don't have to say that it enhance and optimize your decision making process, definitely. And definitely automating a cycle of property market, and property being in the market of property exposure will make things faster, and having things faster makes everything more efficient. There could be endless applications when it comes to AI. بس يعني personally I highly recommend the start series use of AI when it comes لل data analytics, especially when it comes to location and geospatial data analysis and the use of location data or geospatial data in the pricing models and the property management and marketing as well. We would love to help if anyone is interested. And I want to close this talk by إن أنا أتكلم عن حاجة maybe it's clear but it has to be emphasized. هو إنه ال participation of the real estate market in the smart city visions. دلوقتي خلاص كل الدول is adopting the sustainable development goals, the SDGs, to build smarter infrastructure and smarter cities. And if you're not being part of the smarter infrastructure, you cannot be part of the future cities. And to apply these SDGs and participate in this smart infrastructure, you have to adopt the technologies. فده معناه if your operations are still traditional, you have to start adopting these technologies that we talked about أو حتى technologies أخرى sooner or later. And sooner is getting closer to be a must. لأنه من غير these technologies and having your own smarter operations, you cannot be part of the future. And the second point is having an integrated industry. So the real estate market needs to open its arms للintegration مع different industries on even just planning layers من ناحية mobility, for example, communication, environmental management. The more you integrate in your solutions and in your properties, the faster you can access your customers because you're building smarter operations and smarter communities that they want to be part of. Otherwise, they will go for someone else. And last but not least is how to achieve the smarter infrastructure. The smarter infrastructure could be achieved, of course, عن طريق adopting technologies at different layers من the planning of a property لحد ما نوصل للmanagement of real estate. And in the process, the more you build user and customer-centric solutions, the easier your sales will be. Because once you put your customer goal center of each step and each phase, you facilitate a lot of arguments and a lot of expectations or failures. Say, for example, the use of virtual reality, it's already saving you a lot. You know, everything that a customer could expect could be built and designed with the minimum, almost nothing cost, so that you build something that the users are looking for and expecting. Also, for example, the use of AI, having a smarter integrated property, can already eliminate any frustration or failures in the future when it comes, and a customer can compare and see. And if you're growing, if your growth is not as fast as everyone else, unfortunately هتكون قريب مش بتexist. And this is something you cannot risk when it comes to smart cities. This was my talk. I hope you enjoyed it. It was a brief best walkthrough of the technology trends and the AI in the real estate. And I really hope إنه يبدأ يحصل change في الداينامكس بتاعت الريل استيت ماركت، ويبدأ يحصل adoption للتكنولوجيز دي. طبعا it's a virtual talk, so I don't get your questions, but please, if any of you is interested or want to learn more about any of the topics اللي ناقشناها النهارده, feel free to contact the event and reach out. And thank you.